Do. Right. There we go. We are live. I think everything is working. So, all right, let's do it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the latest Mitch Fretton live stream. I hope you're all having a lovely week so far, despite all of the drama that we've seen in and around Tottenham Hotspur in the last couple of days, with all of the Morgan Gibbs-White drama and the Rodrygo links and just everything else in between. It's been a very, very interesting couple of days, and all of that is leading up to a weird pre-season North London derby in a couple of days, which blows my mind that is actually happening. I think the first ever North London derby abroad. Playing Arsenal outside of the season just seems a little bit weird to me, but nonetheless, we've still got to deal with it. We'll still watch it, and I do think it will give us a better idea of where Tottenham are at under Thomas Frank, because those Reading, Luton and Wycombe games are, it's hard to sort of gauge an idea as to where we're at with that. But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on. So welcome on in to the live stream. If you're new around here, do consider dropping a follow if you are over on TikTok, or subscribing to the channel if you are on YouTube. I, of course, as usual, will be looking through all your comments and reading to them, and the idea of these live streams is to chat about you. But the overall theme of this is Tottenham transfer talk again, as it usually is. We'll talk about the Gibbs-White stuff first, I guess, and get the negative stuff out of the way. We can chat about the Rodrigo interest, the Mainoo interest as well, and yeah, go from there really. But yeah, we've got some comments coming in as well already. EW Sefty on TikTok, hi mate, I can't lie, I'm pissed off. Yeah, I'm going to assume that this is due to the Gibbs-White stuff. I don't know, how are you guys feeling about this whole Gibbs-White drama? Obviously, I posted a video on my YouTube channel about it the other day, and I was very annoyed when I recorded that video. As if you watched it, you can probably tell quite quickly that I wasn't very happy. But, it is what it is. And yeah, is there any positives? At the moment, in terms of the transfer window, no. Yeah, you're right. It's the same old story at the moment. We really need to get a move on. And now with the Destiny Udogie injury as well, it really puts into perspective how much work we've got to do in the transfer window. The season starts in 2 weeks. It's so crazy. But yeah, I see you guys on YouTube as well. Henry, Coys, how you doing, man? Ra says, hello, I subbed. Welcome. Thank you so much for the sub on YouTube. Appreciate it, my dude. Avers again. Hi, Mitch. How you doing, dude? Hope you're having a good Tuesday so far. What's going on with Rodrigo? Honestly, we'll come back to the Gibbs-White stuff, right? Let's start with the Rodrigo stuff, shall we? So, to give you guys an update on the Rodrigo stuff, and look, I don't wanna chat about it too much, purely just because this Rodrigo stuff is, I don't think we were ever linked with him properly, right? So the extent of all of this is that Spanish sources have linked us with Rodrigo. Rodrigo is someone that wants to leave, well, doesn't want to necessarily leave Real Madrid this summer, but he's been linked with a move away from Real Madrid. And, there's been interest from Liverpool and Arsenal, but none of that interest has really materialised. And as a result, and I just recorded a TikTok about this as well, which I posted shortly before going live on here. It's just another excuse for journalists to drag Tottenham's name through the mud with these Rodrigo links. I don't think there's any actual inquiries been had for Rodrigo from Tottenham. But Rodrigo, like this guy, this is the main culprit, right? Santi FM, who is a journalist for Foot Mercato, which, that kind of says all you probably need to know about the entire situation. But look, it doesn't seem realistic to me. He says Rodrigo has no interest in joining Tottenham, despite reports. The reports coming from weird, Spanish journalists that I just don't think have too much credibility anyway. It's this bit, right? It's this bit at the bottom that irks me, and I just think is so disrespectful. He's aiming for a bigger club than Tottenham, right? I just don't like it. I don't like the idea, and I know this guy's got 360,000 followers. So talking like that for me, I just think isn't right when you're a big journalist or whatever. But yeah, look, it is what it is at the end of the day. Jermaine, how's it going, my dude? Appreciate you popping back into the stream. Welcome along. Daniel says, hi Mitch, how long is the stream? I'm not sure yet, to be honest with you. We'll see how we go. We'll see how we get on. But make sure you guys get your comments in on TikTok and YouTube as well. Antoine on TikTok says, hi from France. What do you think about Saint Etienne, the French club? Yeah, I don't have any problems with Saint Etienne. Good French club, I guess. I can't really say too much more than that. People drag our name through the mud for likes. 100%, 150% agree with that. It's such an easy way for journalists to get likes and engagement on their posts and their articles, is to just mention Tottenham. It's ridiculous. It's genuinely ridiculous. Adogi says he rejected us, bro. Who are you talking about, Rodrigo? It's not a true story. Dude, I don't think there's even any inquiries going into that. Anyone with a brain could tell. Yeah, exactly. He's a banterman if he ends up at Spurs. You know it. Yeah, exactly. It's all for engagement. Malachi, thank you for the follow on TikTok. User 212. I'm not going to read the rest of the numbers. Thank you so much for the follow on TikTok as well. Appreciate it, my dude. Robbo on YouTube is saying we are in trouble. Yeah, I'm trying to find the balance between the fact that there's still a lot of time left in the transfer window, but also the season starts in 2 weeks. We play PSG in the Super Cup in 2 weeks tomorrow, right? It's 2 weeks on Wednesday until we play that Super Cup. And we're just not prepared. Like, if you had a look at the squad, and I'll try and find it. If you have a look at the squad that we've announced for this Asian tour, right? So it's this. Yeah, so this is the squad for the Asian tour. Actually, I prefer the tweet and look at it on here. Yeah, so this is the squad, right? And you look at the names on that squad, and it's a little bit concerning. In my humble opinion, it's a touch concerning. The lack of quality. And let's consider as well that Son looks likely to leave after this pre-season tour. So we need to replace him. But Kudus is obviously a good signing. But the rest of that, I mean, obviously you've got Christian Romero in there, Mickey van der Ven, Mohamed Kudus, James Maddison. Like, there are good players. But is this a squad that is capable of competing for the Champions League places again next season and taking us up from that 17th place towards the top of the Premier League table? I'm not entirely sure. I really don't know. I just don't see it. So there's only one way you rectify that, and it's being active in the transfer market. And we're always so slow and so behind when it comes to making transfers, and it feels worse than ever this year because we've wasted that 2 weeks on Morgan Gibbs White, and now what? Now what? It's so frustrating. But yeah, exactly. Mr. Plain, thank you for the follow on TikTok. KB says I don't think Son will leave. I think he will. From everything I've been reading, it tells me I genuinely think he will go. Yeah, it will be a sad day, but I do think he will. No more Rodrigo. Yeah, like I said. So let's find the reports. So I think Madrid Zone is usually a good one to look at it from, and we'll try and find it quickly. So it went from. I missed it, didn't I? It went from this, right, which says breaking, Tottenham going all in for Rodrygo. Spurs going all in for Rodrigo. They've asked Real Madrid for their official green light so they can discuss potential terms with the player, right? And this is from Diario AS. Like, they're a big Spanish news outlet, right? 3.3 million followers on Twitter, whatever. But so this is at 7:47 p.m. last night, and then this is at 8:18 p.m. Half an hour. So within half an hour, it's gone from Spurs have gone all in for Rodrigo to Rodrigo doesn't want to join Spurs. Like, come on now. It's such easy rage bait journalism that is just designed to get likes and engagement and rage bait Spurs fans. It works, to be fair, because it annoyed me, and I'm sure it annoyed a lot of you guys as well. But yeah, so frustrating. Mitch, who do you think you would want instead of Gibbs White this summer? I genuinely don't know. I'd go out and buy Eze. I just would. And this is what I mean. Like, if Eze now goes to Arsenal, like, who are the alternatives? There was so much riding on this Gibbs White transfer, and in the end, it never materialised. And now there doesn't seem like there's an alternative. Like, Xavi Simons is going Chelsea. Eze might end up going to Arsenal. There's no one left for us to sign. And then this is the big problem with the way that we deal with transfers. It's so amateurish. Do you think we'll even get an attacking midfielder after the Morgan Gibbs White situation? I'm not sure. I genuinely am not sure anymore. I can't sit here and say, yes, I do think we will get a attacking midfielder, because there's no guarantees on it. No guarantees. Feel sad for Kota Takai. Was looking forward to seeing him in pre-season, and Destiny is a huge miss. Absolutely. I mean, Destiny in particular. I think he missed pre-season last year because of his hamstring injury. And now a knee injury. It's just, we really need to sign a capable left back to cover him and replace him, because I think Destiny Udogi's brilliant, right? But he can't stay fit. He just cannot stay fit. And that is the most frustrating thing about it, is when you have a good player but they're not able to stay fit. So annoying. Could we go for Leao? Again, wages. Would he want to move from AC Milan to Tottenham? And this is our issue, where we underperformed so much last season. I think this calibre of players, they're probably not entirely convinced that if they join, they will be playing Champions League football year in, year out with Spurs. Like, there's no guarantee that Spurs 100% qualify for the Champions League again next season, and maybe that potentially puts them off joining. I'd love to see us sign Leao. I think he would be brilliant. I'm just not entirely sure how realistic it is. Son needs to leave. Yeah, I think he's looked poor in pre-season so far. Malachi says Mitch, this window's embarrassing. One sign on top, 100%. Like, I cannot disagree with that in the slightest. Like, we need to do more. And we haven't done enough so far in the transfer market. It's just so poor. Spurs have never gone all in for anyone. Yeah, it's always talk, isn't it? It's always like, oh, reports say Spurs. Like, we go back to literally a few weeks ago to a month ago. I think Alistair Gold said this is going to be a huge summer of change for Spurs. There's going to be significant investment in the squad. We have a lot of money to spend, and we've done nothing. Since Kudus, we've done absolutely nothing. And that is why so many Spurs fans are frustrated as well. Lucas Paqueta, yeah, maybe. I can't see West Ham sending him to us as well, though, as well as Kudus. Arda Güler, I think that would be an interesting signing. Can't see it happening again, though. This is the issue. I wish we would actually bolster the team. I agreed. I wish as well. I really, really do. Am I blind, or is Vicario not there? I think he is. I think he's in the squad for pre-season. Son needs to go. He's done the job. Yeah, Sonny's gone. I'm telling you, next 3 weeks he's gone. I think he will. It'll be after the Asian tour. We still need a 6. I lost my comments. We need a 6 backup, left back and an attacker. I guarantee that won't happen. Agreed. We need all 3 of those positions. 100%. Frank was talking this morning about playing him as a striker. No idea why we haven't approached Sesko. Yeah, it's big money though for Sesko, isn't it? Big money. Talk about delusional. Go on, explain yourself then. Deals and stills. I don't know what you're waffling about. JT, thank you for following my dude. Wills, yo, how's it going? I say Eze's brilliant. Yeah, I'd love Eze. West Ham have better attackers than us. Well, I mean, they have Bowen. That's it. They're in talks to sign Callum Wilson. Let's not be rash here. Let's not be rash. Timo will be coming back. God, I hope not. Go hard for Eze, Sesko, Elliott, or McAtee and Douglas Luiz. We have to go hard for someone, you'd think, right? You'd think so. Yeah, Arda will be starting for 100 this season. Will he be starting for 100 this season? If you say so. Bricklayer's Life, thank you for the follow. Math, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're over on YouTube as well, guys. Why isn't Spurs after Grealish for a Gibbs White replacement? I mean, Grealish doesn't really play the same position as Gibbs White. Grealish is a left winger. I don't think that would be a good move for us personally. Levy chats about being a big club but refuses to act like a big club. I can't really disagree with you. Rodrigo thoughts? There's nothing in it. I think he'd be a great signing for Spurs. There's nothing in it though. Condolences go out to any Wednesday fans. Your club's in tats. Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday. I just seen that head coach has left. Yeah, you guys talking about Rodrigo saying he's rejected Spurs. You just believe in the waffle on social media. Spurs haven't inquired about him. It's just social media chat. And it's just not true. But you guys believe whatever you read. Don't you worry about it. Jacob Ramsey would be good. Would be a good signing. I think Villa want quite heavy money for him, though. What about João Gomez from Wolves? Yeah, we were interested in him last summer, weren't we? But I don't think there's been too much concrete reports linking us with him again this year. But yeah, it would be an interesting one to revisit. I saw someone link us to, or not link us to, but suggest João Neves, who's still playing in Saudi Arabia at the moment. He was brilliant when he left, and yeah, if he were to come back to the Premier League, that'd be an interesting one. Jermaine says my previous comment got deleted. I'm not sure. I think there's automatic filters on YouTube, Jermaine. So I don't know what you said, but I can't see it either. What's the Vicario Kinski situation? Well, so apparently Kinski's potentially going out on loan this summer, which I think is weird. I think it would be a weird decision to send Kinski out on loan. I actually thought he would maybe even be a better fit to start for Spurs this season over Vicario, just because of his ball playing abilities and playing out from the back would be interesting. But yeah, I hope he doesn't go out on loan. That would be a bit of a weird one. Brahim Diaz, yeah, again, maybe interesting names, very interesting names. How have you been, Mitch? Tough window for us after the Gibbs White deal fell off. Yeah, it's been tough. Like I said, I recorded a video on the whole Gibbs White situation, and I was very angry when I recorded it. And yeah, unsurprisingly, a lot of Nottingham Forest fans found it on YouTube, and yeah, they've been slating me. They've been slating me. Did you see the Gibbs White announcement video? The amount of times said that the owners, yeah, Mr. Marinakis like 4 times in the space of 10 seconds. He don't want to be there. And look, my opinion is that Morgan Gibbs White will leave next summer. Probably not to Spurs now, but to someone else. It's just, yeah, sideways step for him. But if that's the level he wants to play at, that's fine. You know, reject the chance to play Champions League football. That's up to him. You know, wish him all the best. But yeah, we'll be watching Forest with interest this season. That is for sure. Yeah, sorry. I said João Neves, didn't I? Nice spot. Sorry, I meant Ruben Neves. Apologies. Yeah, I did. Yeah, KB, thank you. João Neves, I mean, would be a fantastic signing, but we're never going to get him off PSG. Look, I want to talk about, quickly, the Kobbie Mainoo stuff. Because I'm seeing a lot of chatter about him on social media as well. Oh, just absolutely moved my TikTok camera to the wrong position. Yeah, there's a lot of chat about the Kobbie Mainoo stuff as well. I mean, this guy's so annoying. But, yeah, so there's talks. But Ruben Amorim said he really wants to keep Kobbie Mainoo. He said, I have big plans for him. But his name just keeps cropping up. And it would be interesting to see if we, try to go for him at any point. or maybe launch a bid. But I don't know what Man United's price would be. But from what I've seen from a lot of Manchester United fans, they really, really rate him, even though I don't think he had the greatest of seasons last year. So yeah, said he had big plans for Mount, so don't look too deep into. To be fair, I think technically Ruben Amorim does have big plans for Mason Mount, but the issue is Mason Mount just can't stay fit. I don't want Mason Mount. Yeah, Mainoo isn't going anywhere. Yeah, it's a deal I struggle to see coming through. Let me just add Tottenham onto the end of that. I'll bring up the reports. Yeah, so the report is that Spurs are impressed by Kobbie Mainoo's versatility and made initial inquiries to explore the feasibility of a potential transfer, but we haven't heard anything after that in regards to a move for Kobbie Mainoo. So yeah, I don't know if that's something that we'll see happen, and plus the source isn't the best. So yeah. Between UK and Germany, which one is better in football opportunity? What do you mean in terms of football opportunity? I don't really know what you're suggesting there. Bottom half for you next season. Alright, who do you support, John? You tell me. Versatility isn't what you buy Kobbie Mainoo for. Nonsense report, IMO. Yeah, it's a good point. It's a very, very good point. Yeah, like the comments are like ridiculous. They want ridiculous money for Kobbie Mainoo. I say it quietly, but I don't actually rate him that much. I really, really don't. So yeah, like interest, again, TBR football, you take it all with a pinch of salt. But I'm not entirely sure. But Gisela, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Guys, if you are enjoying the live stream, don't forget to like on TikTok, hit the heart button, and follow along if you want as well. And then subscribe on YouTube if you guys are over there as well. I appreciate the support on the live streams recently. Like I've said before, I really enjoyed doing them. So, yeah, welcome along if you are new. Right, back on YouTube comments. Thank you, Mr. Marinakis. Yeah, I know. Don't think Morgan Gibbs White had a choice. Yeah, he'll go Man City, arguably to replace Bernardo. Yeah, City could well go back in for him next summer. Is the Mainoo interest for loan or permanent? I think it would be loan. I think it would be permanent, in my opinion. Frosty Talks Football. Yo, bro, how's it going? Hope you're having a good Tuesday. No thanks, I prefer getting Delhi back on a free. Mainoo's not consistent. Take him all day. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. Like, the opinion's split. Valentino, thank you for the follow on TikTok, my dude. Jurassic says, in your opinion, who's the best fit for a striker for Man United? I think, I don't know if there is the best fit for Man United. Man United's such a weird club. I think Man United could sign Mbappe and he wouldn't play at his best. There's just something about United these days that is so strange, in my opinion. I don't know. Jurassic Potatoes, thank you for the follow, my dude. I'm a footballer who's relocating. I need to choose from the UK or Germany. I don't know, dude. I'm definitely not an expert in better opportunities. Probably Germany, though, to be honest, if I had to pick one. Ollie, thank you for the follow on TikTok, my dude. I appreciate you. Those again saying, just go and get Belieber or Stiller or Wharton. Yeah, I wish it was that easy. I really, really do wish it was that easy, mate. Yeah, so, I mean, the transfer business has been really slow so far. And the worrying thing for me is that we play Arsenal on Thursday, right? They play Arsenal on Thursday, and I'm worried about that game. First of all, like I said at the start of the stream, I feel like playing Arsenal in pre-season is so weird, and I don't like the idea of it. I understand why they're doing it, for commercial reasons and making money and attracting, players to the stadium in Singapore or wherever we're playing them. I just feel like we are not great at the moment, and Arsenal, we haven't beaten Arsenal in the last six games. So they've got Gyökeres now as well. It's just a recipe for disaster, in my opinion. Nonetheless, Frank has been talking and giving updates on players and the game itself. I mean, Spurs are doing this weird live blog this summer, in like trying to update everyone on everything. But yeah, so one thing that is really interesting is that Frank addressed the injury stuff, which is really ironic considering Destiny Udogie looks like he's got a pretty bad injury. He said, I know about the injury issues, but it's a problem for every club in the world. We have a good and long pre-season so we can push the players. We're aware how we want to train. We need to be aligned on how we want to play and train. There are gym sessions, recovery, and the ability to compete in all tournaments. We are aware and we'll make a few adjustments so we can compete. Okay, so those of you that aren't Tottenham fans watching, you guys will know that, you guys may or may not know that Spurs had such horrific luck with injuries last season to the point where it was just like mind-blowing how many injuries we had at one stage in terms of like starting 11 players. And it's something that Frank is, I think, really trying to address this season and trying to manage. Although it's not really got off to a great start, which is a potential issue for us. But we need to keep players fit this season. We so rarely had our best starting 11 last season. And yeah, we need to keep Romero and Van de Ven. We need to keep a whole back four fit, but we just can never seem to be able to do it. So frustrating. Smiles, thank you for the follow. But yeah, Steph says thoughts on Brennan Johnson. Thoughts on Brennan Johnson. He's a good player. Tottenham's top goal scorer last season. Scored the winner in the Europa League. I really don't want to slate Brennan Johnson much, because he has helped us to one of our biggest achievements in the last 20 years. So I don't want to slate him too much. Bless him. But you know, we can do. I don't want to say we can do better, but I think Kudus will start ahead of him in most competitions this season. Mitch, do you reckon it will be like the Kudus and Gibbs White deal where it comes out of nowhere? I mean, I hope so, because we're not really got any reliable links at the moment, so we need something to just appear out of nowhere. And I think those are the best transfers. When something comes out of nowhere, the dopamine hit on those is just amazing. I absolutely love it. Evan says Rodrigo bid. No, it's not a true story. It's just Spanish sources stirring things up. Ollie said, I'm an Arsenal fan. Honestly, the game doesn't matter. No, of course, right. And I'm aware that it's pre-season and results don't matter. But I feel like there's a natural bit of tension and aggression whenever Spurs and Arsenal play each other, and I'm worried someone's going to get injured or it's all going to blow up, and it's just going to be a pain in the backside when it comes to, you know, the rest of pre-season. Like our games are tough now, but it will give us an idea of where we're at under Thomas Frank. You know, you've got Arsenal, Newcastle, and then Bayern Munich before we play PSG in the Super Cup. So it's good playing that level of opponent, but it's still, you know, it's a lot. It's a lot. I think Frank's going to do a good job. Was he backed properly so far? Nah, he's not been backed so far, in my opinion. He needs to do more. The club need to do more to bring in the players that he wants. And he did speak about this. I'll try and find the quotes. He said something. Spurs haven't put it in their blog, obviously, because it's all very filtered what they put in. But he has said, I think it's important we have depth in the squad. Richarlison is more of a striker. Sonny and Tel can play left and up front. Our forward options have skill sets. But another thing that he did say is... Just trying to find it. 1 second. Oh, I saw this, by the way. Thomas Frank being called Thomas the Frank Engine by Tottenham fans. I think it's okay. That's fine for me, honestly. What a guy. I absolutely love that. Where is it? Just trying to find. Yeah, so he was asked about the transfer strategy for Spurs. And he said, that's something I would like to keep private. Of course, we're aware where we want to strengthen in the squad in general. Kudus has come in and shown his quality already. Of course, we're looking. So, I mean, that's good confirmation for Spurs fans that we are still trying to be active in the transfer window at least. It's good news that we will bring... I'm confident we will still bring in players. I just don't know what players. If I'm totally honest with you, I just don't know what players. So yeah. Chidge, thank you for the follow on TikTok, my dude. Gerard, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for all the new follows on TikTok, guys. I haven't mentioned this yet, but I'm saying on TikTok and on YouTube, I want to hit 5,000 followers / 5,000 subscribers by the end of the 2025-26 season. So if you guys want to help me out and you enjoy chatting to me and enjoy my content, please, please, please hit the follow and subscribe buttons. I really, really do appreciate it. I'm coming back to YouTube comments in a second. Don't worry, I see them moving up and down. Ewan? Is that how you say your name? Ewan Murphy? Owen? Ewan or Owen? Sorry, it's yeah, but thank you for the follow as well, my dude. Right, where are we? Chris saying on YouTube, we are the big club, but how Levy is doing transfer business is disgusting. Yeah, it's just slow, isn't it? It's just slow. By the way, thank you for 2,500 likes on the TikTok live. Appreciate it. Matthew saw, let's hope they go down. Who? Arsenal. Look, if I speak, I'm in big trouble. Tim, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Ghost, hello mate, how you doing? Frosty saying, I think we should go all out for Vissa. Yeah, the Vissa stuff's gone really quiet. So I saw a report saying that while Newcastle were closing in on the deal, Brentford have now closed the door on a transfer away. But the issue is, Wissa wants to leave. So it's definitely one to keep an eye on, particularly with Spurs, because we're definitely very interested in him as well. When are you next on Last Word on Spurs, mate? I'm not sure. It's very last minute at the moment because they're doing a lot of shows, but I will be back on very, very soon. Shout out Ricky. What a legend. I love being on Last Word on Spurs. Such a great podcast. Arsenal should be going hard for Rodrigo. Yeah, Rodrigo or Eze for them would be a great sign, as much as I hate to admit it. How can you watch it for free? I'm not entirely sure in terms of free. Obviously, it'll be on Spurs Play, but I don't know in terms of free unless you find a stream somewhere. I'm sure people will post them online. Daniel, say we get Eze and Palhinha, do we get top 4? We need left back cover. We need left back cover for sure. But I mean, Eze and Palhinha would go a long way to helping us get up the table. 100% agree with that. Pure Coys TV, big up Mitch and chat. Smash that like button. I agree, my dude. Zoe, how's it going? Welcome in. Got a feeling about Dennis Sirkin. Yeah, he sorts the club train quota and he's left back cover and he's relatively cheap. So I can see why, you know, it's easy to put 2 and 2 together for that. I would prefer to go for someone like Anthony Robinson just because I think he's at a higher level and we need that quality in our backups as well. In my humble opinion, my concern will be quantity over quality will panic buy. Well, the later it gets in the transfer window, the more likely that is to happen. And that's a frustrating thing. So frustrating. Tottenham need to sign Eze. Yeah, I wish, man. I unfortunately feel like that ship has sailed, but I would love for us to sign Eze. You think you'll beat Arsenal 3-1? I hope so. I like the optimism. I really, really do. But yeah, what else has Thomas Frank said on the pre-season tour? Yeah, we got that. Oh yeah, so Mickey van der Ven's bigged up Luka Viskovic. Obviously a lot of talk about Luka Viskovic at the moment, just because of how well he settled into Spurs. And yeah, Mickey was next to Thomas Frank doing his press conference and he said he's doing unbelievably. Hopefully he can do even more from us and you guys can see even more from him. So I think that tells us that Mickey really rates him. And I think a lot of the people inside Spurs have been really, really surprised as to how good Vuskovic is. And I don't want him to go on loan, by the way. I want him to stay and I want him to compete for first team minutes because I think he's capable of it. I really do think he's capable of it. So yeah, fingers crossed that can sort of develop as we go, and we'll see more minutes from him in pre-season as well, of course. Bit of rubbish about the tour just being great there. Yeah, some more Mickey stuff. Yeah, interested on the Heung-min Son bits. What do we think? Do we think Son is leaving this summer? Or do we think he's staying? The more time that goes past, I think Son leaves. I think he goes to LA. I think he leaves on a high. Europa League winning captain. Done his job finally. And yeah, I'd prefer to see him leave and just be happy and be a Tottenham legend and not have to sit here for the next year and maybe watch him decline, especially from what we've seen in pre-season so far. That's the only thing for me. But yeah, Jackson B, thank you for the subscription on YouTube, my dude. Martin Knightsbridge, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. I appreciate it. Welcome to the family, my dude. Do you think Spurs will try for Eze? I don't think so, unfortunately. Which is sad, but I don't think so. I love Viskovic. Yeah, me too. Brilliant player. Brilliant player. Agree with you, Mitch, but we all know our Spurs are like, yeah, we do at this point. We really, really do at this point. If Sonny leaves, who do you think will be new captain? I think even if Son stays, Romero should be captain, personally. And that's no dig at Son. I just think Romero is the perfect Tottenham captain. I think the players love and respect him, and he just knows what it means to play for Spurs, and he just gives his absolute everything when he's on the pitch. He really, really does. So yeah, Romero, of course, yeah, for sure. Don't forget Mickey van der Ven can play left back. Could see a back four of Porro, Romero, Danso, van der Ven. You could. Van der Ven. Yeah, I don't know how likely Frank is to play him at left back. That's the only potential thing. Romero staying, yeah, 100%. Romero staying. I hope he signs a new contract. That would be amazing. But yeah, back on this, Frank was obviously asked about Heung-min Son. He said Son has been one of the best players at Tottenham in the last 10 years. He will always score goals. It's about getting him in the right positions to do that, which is really interesting because a lot of you probably would have noticed it last season, but Ange played Son very wide during his time at Spurs, and I think Son's always performed best as an inside forward, and I hope Thomas Frank, if Son does stay, that is where Thomas Frank will play him more often as an inside forward, because the fullbacks get a lot higher and they're a lot more central, a lot more wide hugging the touchline. And it would allow our left wing and right wing to come inside more and be more involved in the attacking third and get in the box rather than deliver into the box. So Son, I think for me, if he were to stay, that would have to be the position that he plays in. And yeah, I think that would be where we saw him play as well. But I just don't know. I don't know, man. Yeah. Yes. So, what else is going on in the world of Spurs? I'm not going to look at that video. Interesting video here, though. Kinski in open training. Sorry, I'm just trying to show it to the guys on TikTok can see as well. Sorry, I didn't really watch that. It's only an 11-second kick, but he's playing, like, outfield, essentially. He's so good on the ball, Kinski. And this is what I mean. This is why I'm so confused about the idea of him going out on loan, because I feel like he could be a real breakthrough player under Thomas Frank this season. I don't know if anybody else agrees with that, but that's kind of just my opinion. This picture, by the way, is nuts. Absolutely nuts. Good though. Yeah, so I think Spurs still... Oh, here we go. What's this? Brentford are not willing to sell Johan Wissa to Newcastle at any price unless they sign a replacement first. Yeah, interesting one there. Interesting one. Wissa has communicated he wants this deal to Newcastle to happen. He's told Brentford to find a solution. Brentford are now wanting to identify their replacement and determine what can be done before they sanction the exit. So, yeah, so maybe that... Someone asked about Wissa earlier in the stream, and maybe that kind of answers the question about him. I think if Spurs were really, really interested in bringing him in, we would be mentioned in these sorts of talks, but it seems like Newcastle are really the only ones pushing for him right now. But yeah, like even still, I think Newcastle are going to end up paying like 40 million for him. He's about to turn 29, 1 year left on his contract. Is he worth that? You can weigh up the argument because he scored, 19 Premier League goals last season, which is a very good return, by the way. It's like really, really good. But, United going for strikers as well. Iron Forest for Arsenal as well. What do you mean? But yeah, Man United interested in Sesko and Ollie Watkins. Kinski trying to be our new deep six-line playmaker. Oh, goodness me, yeah. Yeah, we really need to get a move on, don't we? It's daunting. It's daunting how much work in the transfer window still needs doing. But this is interesting. Man United looking at Sesko and Ollie Watkins. I thought Amarin said the other day that he was happy with his squad, but clearly not. I mean, going for Rasmus Højlund when they did instead of Harry Kane is such a crazy decision. But yeah, I also saw this picture, and it's not related to Spurs, but all of these players that Brighton have had recently and brought in and sold is mental. Like, what a team that is. Absolutely crazy. What we can talk about is the Mikey Moore stuff. So, Mikey Moore looks like he's heading on loan to Rangers. What do we make of that? If he joins Rangers, thank you to our good friend Matt Hayes, he will be the most valuable player in the Scottish Premier League. And it looks like it's a dry loan to Rangers, no buy option, no nothing. And Mikey Moore is the one who pushed for this loan move. He wants regular first team minutes so that next season, 26-27, he can come back and truly compete for a first team spot. And Thomas Frank did talk about him as well. Thomas Frank on Mikey Moore being given permission to hold talks over a loan is very important. Mikey's a big talent. I'm very excited about his future at Tottenham. I think for all players, but especially younger players, they need consistent first-team football into their bodies. I think if we can find the right option, we can agree to it. Yeah. Who's reading this? While it's true multiple championship clubs which sign Mikey Moore, Scottish Giants also strongly pushing to take the England under-19 international. Yeah, so I think Scottish fans are very excited about the prospect of Mikey Moore joining them. So I'm very interested. So Rangers, I think they do have some kind of European football next year. I'm not sure if it's Europa League or something else, but yeah, dry loan, and if he plays week in, week out, I have no qualms with it, no problems whatsoever. I think it'll be a great loan signing for them, and it gives him those minutes that he really, really needs to really up his level even more, because obviously he got minutes for Spurs last season. You do still feel like there are aspects of his games that can be developed. But yeah, so I saw that there's a Eurocentel account out there now, which is just ridiculous. But yeah, I agree with our boy Invert the Wing. I think it's much better than going to a championship. But underneath that, Ahmad went to Rangers on loan and he wasn't treated very well. So hopefully he's treated a bit better than Ahmad was if he does go to Rangers. But I don't think we would agree to let him go there unless he was guaranteed minutes, and maybe then there's the option to recall him from loan, worst case as well. I did see a lot of people saying that he should have gone to West Brom, linked up with Ryan Mason, because you know he's going to play there, which I think is a very good point as well. But yeah, I think it's a good move all round for all parties. But I think I'm going to leave a live stream there for today, because I got a few bits to do this afternoon, and I'm quite hungry as well. I went to the gym this morning, yeah, I want to grab some food and chill out for a little bit. So, thank you so much to everybody that has joined the live stream. I appreciate it. I'll have a YouTube video out this evening previewing the Arsenal game for Thursday. So keep an eye out for that. Thank you so much to everybody that has followed on TikTok. Thank you for everybody that has subscribed to YouTube, dropped in, all you guys that have commented and everything. I really appreciate it. It makes these live streams a lot easier because it just feels like a chat with you guys, and that's the kind of live stream format that I want to follow. I might try and do a live stream on Thursday or Friday at some point to after the Arsenal game, so keep an eye out for that. I'll have a review out on the channel as well. But yeah, thank you for coming along. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and I will see you very, very soon.